viewers. Well, last week I went along to a dirt rally event to see how the game had developed on the consoles, race around, and we went to the Higgins Rally School in Wales so that we could try out a bit of the game and experience some of the real rallying. So here we see some of the journalists and YouTubers who were lucky to be invited along to this event, and there we see one of the Subarus that one of the expert rally drivers would take me out in later in the day. Excellent, amazing experience actually, and that's the car we would be driving, so slightly different, but you feel every bump, put it that way. And that's from the Forest Experience, and that's one of their own rally cars they compete in. Fortunately, it had a bit of an incident, a bit like that a few journalists were having. So a few gameplay clips throughout this video. We'll come back to all these different clips in other videos. There'll be a couple of multicam videos. Following this, there'll be a multicam and a brief explanation on Welsh Rally. And then again, we see a little bit of it there as well. Somebody driving along there, different conditions. All this is PS4 gameplay throughout in these videos. Haven't seen the Xbox One gameplay, but understand it's pretty similar. So we'll just have to wait and see. You can see a few different views there. As I was just there, a bit of covert camera work of me having a chat with the developers, and of course I'll have a chat with Paul Coleman on a separate video, as well as Liam Doran we see here, and we've got an interview with him. He was busy having a run round as well. The wheel wasn't necessarily set up the way I would like it, so he was doing very well here with the wheel controls, and because it was quite tricky with the setup they had. I tend to run with a few less degrees. He was spinning across the line, and of course then it was down to Rally Wales. I'm going to mention this again in the next video, but it was great to play this first before going out to the real stages, which looked remarkably similar. They had a really sort of similar feel, and you know, I couldn't help but think about the game a bit when I was driving the real stage and thinking, actually, it's surprisingly similar. It just shows how far games have moved on in a different way to standard race tracks, because there's so much more detail and there's so much more in the way the car moves, and the amount of focus that you need as well is greatly increased, I find, you know, compared to the circuit driving, because you have so many different challenges coming to you. This is being played with the controller. In fact, apart from a very brief clip on the Greek rally, all the rest is done with the controller here, and very intuitive. Again, just replays are pretty cool as well, some nice replay views. So it's all converted really, really well to the home, and again, I'll repeat myself several times in these different videos, but it's really nice to see these sort of aerial views and just working on capturing rally, really, the journey of rally. I've often mentioned the journey over the past 6 or 7 years doing these videos, and they've really got that there, the view of the forest, and the fact that it's converted at 60 frames to the PS4, really nice. You even so much detail in the audio as well. You even hear the whistles, I think, of the marshals at times, and it's really nice detail. I was playing from the bonnet cam on a lot of this, but just wanted to share just a couple of viewpoints. So multicams we've got coming of Wales here, of one of the rally cross sections. Show you some of that action, and we've also got interviews of Paul Coleman and Liam Doran on the way. So some solid coverage coming over the next week or so across the channel, and of course don't forget we'll have some MXGP2 coverage on the channel as well, so lots to look forward to there, and some Valentino Rossi the game as well. So there's stacks of new content coming. Not bad, you know, first go running around this with the pad, felt great. After that, of course, it was a trip here to our rally schools. This was outside the front of the rally school, just a quick view before we got into our car, and then we just drive on. This is one of the other competitors. Now the rally teacher was quite strict at first. He would start you going very slowly, and then he'd say to me, right, second gear, third gear, brake, so on. He would be pretty strict. If you didn't listen to him, he would actually just pull the handbrake in the middle of a stage and spin you out. So he was pretty strict that you listen to him and you don't build speed too quickly. I actually did on that section. I went quite quickly along there and then just flew over the hill. But straight away I felt quite comfortable. So first we went on a rally section, which was a big long section down the mountain, then up the mountain again, and there's me taking photos there. And then after that we were going in here and doing handbrake turns. Now he didn't quite manage it all the way around there. You've got to really pull the handbrake. And there we go, that's better that time. That was one of my runs there. Now I got 2 wrong, and then the third one I got right. So it takes a bit of time. That easily happens as well. We all stalled it once going round. It's quite tricky actually, because you're braking and hitting the clutch to go from second to first, then you're braking and hitting the clutch at the same time, coming off the brake and handbraking with your foot down the clutch into the corner again. You know, it's tricky, but you get there in the end. So that was me just doing my handbrake turn there, which turned out all right. And then we had our camera assistant there, Nina, who was doing it as well, and she was doing a cracking job. She was the racer of the day when it came to handbrake turns. Did it perfect every time with no mistake. So there we are. If you're used to doing shop car parks in your teenage years, you're probably going to be good at it. After that we had the race, which you see here, the teacher just racing around. He was pretty solid, which was great fun as well. You know what, I got to tell you, it felt a lot quicker in there when you're racing around in that car. You're feeling all the stones and all the bumps, and the car was quite loud as well. It's not picked up on this camera work, but pretty cool around the chicane and on the power. A lot of fun. And you know that you're playing the game and then you do this, and it just felt really natural. I even had the back end step out on one corner. I'm giving it some opposite lock around the corner. Loved it, felt brilliant. Okay, so this was a bit more gameplay now. So that was a really great day doing the rallying, and really nice to, you know, play the game and then go out and do the real thing and realise just how intuitive it felt. What a good training tool it was in many ways, going from this to that. So this was being driven in the Mini with the wheel here. I wasn't at all comfortable with the standard wheel settings I had set up, so I would adjust that what I already have on my own rig, so that's fine. I look forward to that on the PS4.
Into turn hairpin right, 80.
And I don't have a handbrake button set up here, so I'm just going nice and slow through the hairpins. But you know, again, we talked about this when we first did the Grease video. At that time, I was really struggling with the feeling of speed. It just feels better now than it did then. But the views are, you know, magnificent, and you know, Paul even points out that they've knocked a few trees down to give you more of a view here and there on some stages. Just because it's wonderful seeing that view. It really is. Just adds so much to the feeling of travelling. So racing on the outside mini view. I was just mucking about with different views here. Oh, couldn't quite turn it in. Didn't have that handbrake button, but either way managed to make it round.
60 down, hairpin left.
Very rugged surface to this stage.
Caution left 4 and down into hairpin right.
And working my way down the mountain. I really like the bottom half when you're going through the trees.
Into right 3 half long. 60 keep right.
And then of course you had the rallycross, and this is being driven with the controller now. Again running, you know, like it does on my PC, really well. You know, it's a lower graphical setting than the PC version, but as I say, you know, this is 3-year-old hardware, so it's to be expected. But either way, it's good for your console to be able to run this at 60 frames. But pretty intense action in a rallycross. We'd love to have a go at that in real life as well, especially on this circuit in a powerful car. Must be a lot of fun. Oh, so I'm just getting it a little bit wrong, but it kind of helped me, so that's not bad. Okay, I just couldn't straighten the car after that. It's so frustrating, trying to keep the power down. And then we have a bit of night rally as well. This will come up as a separate video on the channel. Again, looks really nice. It's running so smoothly at 60 frames, looks fantastic. You know, it's your first time driving it, it's quite tricky. You're a little bit more tentative. You don't want to touch the sides if you can help it, because they do slow you down, and sometimes you can sort of bump off them in a really negative way. So you just want to try and focus on the road ahead. I think I spin out once on this stage. Just a bump catches me off. But you know, Dirt Rally isn't a game that you're going to all pick up and play and be perfect on your first go. It's going to be a game that you improve at, understand, and then develop your skills on. There's a lot to be said for learning the stages, however, and there's a lot to learn. So it's really competitive in the rally market now. You know, you've got this, you've got Sebastian Loeb, you know, and sim-wise you've got Assetto Corsa coming soon as well. Check that out on the channel. And so on the channel you're going to have some more gameplay videos, as I say, the interview videos. If you've got any questions, do let me know, pop them in the comments. And I think we have to say now on YouTube, do like and subscribe. Apparently we all have to say that now, but please do, because it does support what we do on the video and, you know, the content. And check out all the news on the website as well. We've always got loads of news on the website, stuff like that, so check it out. But I'm going to leave you now with a little bit of this gameplay, and as ever there'll be more from me very soon.
Left 5 into right 4 100. Right over crest, into left 3, small crest bump 60 crest, and right 5 continues for 80, 40 bump, right 4 long crest 60, keep mid over crest jump maybe, 40, keep right over crest jump maybe, 40, left 6, and keep right over small crest bump to finish.
Well, how do you like it?